The Pfizer vaccine is approved in the US. When can you expect to get it? Friends will host another radio drama next week. How can you reserve your ticket? New restrictions in the city. How do they affect you and your plans? All this and more on the Quaker Quill Weekly Wrap. Live from the Friends School campus, this is the Quaker Quill Weekly Wrap with Carson Freeman. Hello and welcome to the Quaker Quill Weekly Wrap, your connection to the campus. We begin tonight on news of Pfizer's vaccine approval. After a day of meetings with the U.S. governing body on food and drugs, they finally approved Pfizer's candidate for a COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. What we know so far is that vaccinations could start as soon as Monday. In addition, the CDC says that healthcare workers and persons living in nursing homes should be prioritized. As for us here in the Gold Alliance State of Maryland, there's already been a plan released for how vaccines should be distributed and to whom. The Maryland Department of Health has already released this priority sheet. Notice how the first section prioritizes healthcare workers and persons in long-term healthcare facilities, then leaving those with higher risk for having complications with the virus after them. Then essential workers were finally the rest of the population will be able to get it. Moderna and Pfizer have stated that the vaccine could not be widely available until at June the latest. This is what President Trump had to say about the news.
Today, our nation has achieved a medical miracle. We have delivered a safe and effective vaccine in just 9 months. This is one of the greatest scientific accomplishments in history. It will save millions of lives and soon end the pandemic once and for all.
Well, it looks like we're going to have some really good weather on Saturday. We're going to have a high of 61 and a low of 50, so remember to go outside and enjoy that. Then on Sunday, we're going to have a high of 57 and then a low of 39. So, still go enjoy that weather. That's all for your weekend weather, but we could have some snow moving in later next week. It looks like it's mostly going to be coming in on Wednesday through Thursday, but it looks like the brunt of the snow is mostly going to be on Wednesday evening as of now. Remember, we are still looking fairly hard ahead, and we're using weather.com, so whatever. Anyway, so we're probably not going to have a snow day, but let's go and cross our fingers and put a spoon under our bed and hope that we don't need to go on online classes. Anyway, everyone enjoy their weekend, and back to you in the studio, Carson. Thank you so much, Carson. In other news, the French School Performing Arts Department is raising the curtain even though it may not be exactly in person. Our Performing Arts correspondent Carson has some more details. Carson, how can I make sure that I'm still in attendance? Even though this year may not be taking place on stage, the show must go on, and instead, like the previous radio drama, Twisted Tales of Poe, the show will be taking place on a Zoom conference. Much like last time, an email will be sent out which will contain a link to RSVP to the Zoom. Once the show is about to start, you'll be able to click another link that was sent to you right after you RSVP'd. Then, all you need to do is just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. That's all. Back to you, Carson. Thank you so much, Carson. Now, Carson has your commute, traffic, and MTA report. Carson, what's it looking like out there? Well, it looks like for traffic, it's going to be smooth sailing. A trip from Friends School, Baltimore to Owings Mills, Maryland will take you around 22 minutes. A trip from Towson to Friends School, Baltimore will take you around 12 minutes. And then a trip from Friends School, Baltimore to Columbia will take you around 33 minutes. As for MTA, there are no buses that are running late, and also the MTA reports that the MTA Metrolink and the MTA Light Rail Link are both running on time. That's it for traffic and MTA connections. That's on to you, Carson, back into the studio. Thanks, Carson. News from City Hall brings new COVID-19 restrictions. These restrictions have come after a sharp tick in coronavirus cases. These include no outdoor gatherings of more than 10 persons or 25 for outdoor. Almost all religious, dining, and entertainment establishments may only operate at 25% occupancy. We recommend that you use delivery or carry-out options for local dining businesses and continue to wear a mask and practice social distancing. There has been no such changes in Baltimore County's COVID-19 restrictions. For the most up-to-date information on everything Friends School, remember to follow Quaker Quill on Twitter and Instagram. Finally, bringing you the This Week in History report. On the 7th of December 1941, the Japanese attacked U.S. bases such as Pearl Harbor.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
On the 8th of December, America joined World War II after the Japanese attacks across America's Pacific territories and bases.
I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
On the same day in 1980, former Beatle John Lennon was shot dead in New York. On this 10th of December, 1948, Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations was passed. In addition, on the same day in 1958, the first U.S. commercial jet flight took to the skies. This will conclude our Quaker Quill Weekly Wrap. We thank you for your time and trust for us to deliver reliable news into your homes. And remember that Quaker Quill Weekly Wrap is your connection to the campus. See you all next week.